Boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Hey, you can call me a front runner, bandwagon, whatever you want, but I'm wearing my Colts when they win. I am for you, win or tie. You lose, I'll rip your ass. I don't give a shit. You got to win. K. Sterling?
It's a result-based business.
The NFL, nothing's more result-based other than the PGA Tour. What'd you think?
I liked the way that defense stopped Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I really liked. You have to do that. You have to pick what you're going to do. They stopped Henry. They allowed Tannehill to do some things. That was okay with me. And the offense, I thought, moved the football. I thought Zack Moss was awesome. Ooh. He was like, screw it. Jonathan Taylor, my ass. I'm running the damn ball. You want to take me off the field, you lose me. Right. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I dig it.
He Wally pipped him a little bit.
He did.
I thought the defensive front was terrific. Even when Tannehill was doing some pretty good stuff, I felt like there was pressure. And you know what? Look, it's the NFL. Hopkins, a great receiver, the mad crapper who came into Indy during the combine and crapped all over the hotel room, he and the right receiver. I just can't never think that when I see him.
Right.
The man, can you imagine? What are you doing?
What is that? What gets in your head where you think, here's what I got to do. I got to poop all over everything and smear it on the walls and ceiling. Why?
It costs like $20,000 to fix one hotel room. Like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, that's what I said. But hey, stopping Henry was strong.
Yeah.
Really strong on fourth down. I mean, that was a team deal.
Zaire Franklin.
He's a stud.
He really is. That's a big play. Here's the difference to me between he and Okereke. Okereke made tackles that somebody had to make. You gain of 7, tackle Okereke. Gain of 5, tackle Okereke. Franklin makes tackles that change games. That's a bunch of tackles, and he makes the tackles that you need to.
Yeah.
But he gets in there, and tackles for loss are a big part of his game.
Yeah, that's a great point because somebody's got to make tackles.
Right.
I mean, somebody's got to make tackles, and he got through the line. Look, I'm critical of Ballard, but I'm going to give Ballard great credit. He brought Moss.
Yeah.
He drafted Franklin late. You know, the guys up front that he's got, whether it's bringing in Buckner, who was terrific in the time that he played. Deo had a penalty, but he was still pretty good. That defensive front, Stewart's been
badass.
I call him your guy because you've been touting him for a long time. Look, there's nothing not to like about that defensive front. And correct me do you agree with this? The defensive front, boy, if you get some heat or some push, it takes the pressure off the corners.
Oh, it sure does.
Right?
And you saw that yesterday. I mean, Hopkins had 10 catches, and that's not great. But when he's a borderline Hall of Famer, you got a borderline Hall of Famer going against a couple of rookie corners, you're going to have problems, and so you had some problems, but they didn't beat you. They figured out a way to win despite all that production from Hopkins.
I'm still hot, Ken. I thought the stupidest call, and I'm going to explain it, and then I'll let you react to it. Look, we just went through this in Indy, and I know people want to blame Grigson, and I know people think I defend Grigson, but I know this for fact. When Luck was there, they worked on him doing 3 things. Throw the ball away, slide. They brought in Razor Shines and other guys from the Indians to teach the guy how to slide and then run out of bounds.
Yeah.
They did that. They taught, and he would refuse to do it, and he kept wanting to take on the lacerated kidney that he got. He had 4 options, and he chose the worst one.
Yeah.
Throw the ball to a receiver that was open, throw the ball away, slide, run out of bounds, and he chose to not do that. So here we are in Indy, and look, kid was 9 for 11, I think, at the time they ran him. So don't tell me he's not a pocket passer. You're 9 for 11. I don't give a rat's ass. For that game, you're an okay passer. And you decide to do this old 1950s single wing, we're going to run the quarterback to the right. I know it's a fluke he gets, but it's not a fluke. These guys are big, they're angry, and you got to tackle Richardson hard.
Right.
You got to hit him. He's big. And I thought it was malpractice. I thought it was stupid, and my anger has not subsided. I think everybody should be fired. Not really, but I'm exaggerating. But it's just the dumbest shit I ever saw doing that and putting it. If he's got to run, fine. If you want to roll him out with a pass option, fine. But don't put him in a position where everybody and their mother knows he's going to run the freaking football, and you run the risk of getting hurt, and now the dude's out for a month. I'm sorry, that's a long rant, but I'm pissed off about it.
I totally get it. And the thing that makes it even more absurd is that you had a running back
Yes!
who's having a hell of a day, and you've got a running back who's one of the best running backs in the league who's standing over on the sidelines. So why are you running the guy that you can least afford to lose? Run. You got these two guys. You got Zach and you got Taylor. Run one of those guys and get their shoulders hurt. We can live with one of them. Can't live with one of Minshew.
I could not believe that.
No, it makes no sense.
I couldn't. And all right,
I get it.
You want him to run. I do too, but not then. Roll him out. Give him an option when it's not there to throw the ball into the bleachers so he doesn't get his. And if he does get hit like that, it's going to be different than when he's chugging and putting his arm down and you're telling him to go get yards.
Right. And when you scramble into an open area.
Yes.
You scramble because you've got open space. When you have a designed run like that, you're not running to open space. No.
You're running against a defense that as soon as this ball is hiked and he takes a step, these guys are pros. They know this. I mean, Tony Romo can call plays before they happen because guess what? He's a pro and he's been in those locker rooms. So have the defensive guys. They know, okay, this is a run. We're going to go knock the out of this guy.
Right.
And it's just so stupid to me. I got so pissed off because I like this kid. I'm all in on him. I think he's great. I think he's terrific. Don't tell me he can't throw the ball. Yeah, he's wild some. Who cares? Everybody's wild some.
Right. Luck was
except
wild.
Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy apparently.
My God.
Jesus Christ.
And Stafford. Not wild.
But yeah, Luck was crazy with it early.
What do you know about AC joints? It's a grade 3 AC sprain.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you exactly what I know, and everybody's going to tell you the same thing. He's going to get it operated on at some point. And once it comes out, because I got it, once it comes out more. It's like opening the floodgates. Brian Evans did remember that? He popped that thing back in.
Yeah.
And I had to do that once. It is so painful when it's out, and it is so painful when it goes back in, except it's not. It's painful, but it feels so much better, and then there's relief.
Immediately?
Like, really? It's like, oh, and then, oh. But it comes out more and more and more. Yeah. And so he's going to have it operated on. I guarantee you at the end of the season, he has that thing operated on because you're going to hear it's going to come out more and more. And it was unnecessary. If he gets hurt scrambling, he gets hurt, throws a blind side, somebody hits him in the chest or from behind and they drive him into the turf. Okay, that's part of being a quarterback. You're dropping back. But in modern NFL, Kent, remember the old stretch play the Colts used to run?
Yeah.
You don't even see that anymore because guys are so fast.
Right.
You see between the tackles because guys are so fast out wide. You used to be able to do a double reverse, right?
Yeah,
you don't do that because guys are so fast. Right. And you're asking this quarterback against a loaded defense? It's just stupid.
So now you got Minshew.
What do you think?
I don't know.
He looked good late.
He did, but you know what? It's one thing if you're starting Richardson and the defense has schemed to stop Richardson. This week, the Jaguars are going to scheme to stop Minshew. Mm-hmm. That's different. Mm-hmm. That defense is going to be different, and that's going to be more difficult for Gardner Minshew to operate.
Yeah, and the Jaguars know a little bit about Minshew, too.
A little bit.
But I thought Minshew, I'm going to give him one day. Like when we do a show later in the week, I'm ripping his ass if he's not good enough. Like I'll have figured out how he's going to screw it up. But I'm giving him one day here, Ken. He came in, was 5 for 5 in the late drive. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. I
mean, you got to give the guy credit coming in cold.
How about that late drive? I kept going back. I kept hearing Steichen say, we throw to score and we run to win. They had a 14-play drive that ate 7 minutes and 3 seconds, left the Titans with 1 minute to go get a game-tying touchdown without any timeouts. They couldn't do it. Julian Blackmon gets that interception. I thought that 7 minute and 3 second drive, that was just badass men kicking the living hell out of the Titans. I thought that was terrific.
I do too. There were some third downs, made the right call, got the guy open and made the right pass. 100 years ago, I'll never forget this, and I've always paid attention to this since. Indiana's playing Kentucky, and it's a great crowd at Indiana's when Anthony Thompson was there. Indiana, and you can look this up. I'm sure. No, don't look it up. I'll look it up. But like 10 minutes ago in the game, Indiana gets the ball, and they run the clock out. Like first down. Don't snap the ball till a second on the play clock.
Yeah.
3 yards. Don't snap the ball till. And I've always watched that late. Like, man, that takes a freaking tough ass team. And look, whether the Colts are the best team in the world, I don't know. But I know this: they were a tough ass team yesterday, whether you like them or not.
Yep.
And that drive showed it, I thought.
And that offensive line is playing well, even with Blake Freeland.
Yeah.
Although Danico Autry got the edge once and almost put. I thought Gardner Minshew's head was going to pop off.
I thought we were going to see a helmet, and maybe that was actually the head.
Oh, like Ron Jaworski back in the day with Mike Hartenstein hitting him for.
I remember that.
I can't believe he walked. Hartenstein was a badass.
He gave the biggest loogie. True story. We're sitting 10 rows behind. Only two Bears game I ever went. If you ask my brother right now, what's the most memorable thing from Bears game you ever went to? Mike Hartenstein gave it one of these and blew something out of his nose the size of St. Louis, man. And we still talk about the Mike Hartenstein loogie. But, I remember when they drafted him. But to your point, I mean, I don't know. You got a backup that's light in the ass who held up.
Yep.
Kelly was good.
Yeah.
Kelly being back helps. I don't know.
A hold that was complete nonsense.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't. But it evened out because there were some PI calls against the Titans that benefited the. It all comes out in the wash.
Yeah, but I thought if you're a Colts fan, how are you not enthused?
Yeah.
And now you set up. Okay, you set up. Here we go. I thought the Jaguars, and we can talk about this later, but the Jaguars look pretty good. But before we do that, I want to go positional with you. Still nothing from Alec Pierce.
Right, 1 catch, 10 yards.
Yeah.
That's it.
Big catch. A pass interference.
Yeah.
You got a pass interference, which I guess when you win, you try to say the positives, right?
Yeah.
If they had lost, like
nobody ever whines about officiating with a win. No.
Where's Alec Pierce? 1 catch, 10 yards. What did you think of the wide receivers in general?
I thought Josh Downs was awesome.
I did too.
They finally used him right. Like, they found space for that guy. This is where it's going to change this coming week because they're going to cheat guys up. You got to stop the run now. It's not a multi-dimensional offense. So you're putting 8 in the box, 7 in the box, and Minshew can't get the ball down the field like Richardson could. So everything changes, and it changes for Downs. But I thought, man, he was electric.
I did too.
We don't get a lot of electricity around here. That was electric.
No, Pittman was okay.
Yeah, typical him.
Yeah, he played how he plays.
Right.
Tight ends.
I felt bad for Mo Alley Cox. Could they? And I know people are beating the hell out of the Colts about this and the city, but I think they should. That field is garbage. You got to get rid of this crap. It's good they've got Ballard as a GM who doesn't really like free agency because they're not getting anybody to sign here with that field in the condition it's in. That is dangerous. And I know they're going to replace it at the end of the year. But for the love of God, you're paying $20 million for a linebacker. You can't pay $12 million a year to get natural grass in there and keep it up and buy the lights and all that crap they got to do. That's crazy.
Natural grass is easy in domes now. I mean, I think we talked about it.
It's expensive, but
it's easy. But it's easy. You take it out on pallets, you do your thing, you bring it back in. And, yesterday, I'm going to stay with the position. I want to get into
I'm sorry. I drifted off, but I like...
But it rained inside, which is like what you can't have in that field.
Right.
That's like the one thing because there's no drainage.
It was spitting.
I know.
But what you really can't have sunshine.
No.
Because sunshine completely messes up the TV.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like I used to think, this is going back 100 years, that little open thing in Cowboy Stadium used to screw it up.
Yeah,
remember they had that one little hole?
Yeah. So God could walk.
Yeah. That's right. But the sunshine kills you in Lucas Oil. Ogletree makes plays.
Yeah.
He's not, look.
If he can stay healthy, he's a guy.
What's wrong with him?
Yeah, nothing. And with Ollie Cox coming out, you replace him with Mallory, and I feel good about Mallory. I'm okay. I did not like Granson being used in the way he did on that play where they should have kicked the field goal. They went for it because Granson has balky hands. They don't always work. You've got to back up in a high-pressure situation. I didn't like the whole thing. I didn't like the call. I didn't like not taking the points. But Granson didn't have a bad day, I guess, other than that.
I thought the play call was crap.
Yeah.
I thought the call to not take the points was crap because it moved it you're trying to win a game, and 7 wins you the game. I mean, it
Right.
doesn't win you the game, but you're not losing the game on the next possession unless, Vrabel wants to go for 2.
Right.
You could lose the game on the next possession. And I always think when you got a chance, I thought it was a bad call, but it worked out, so we're not going to, I guess, criticize it. But, all right, running back was terrific.
Hell yeah. Now what do you do?
I don't know.
Now you got 2 real good ones. I guess you split carries, but the more carries a guy gets, the better he's going to be. Do you just see who's got the hot hand? Do you give like Moss the first possession and Taylor the second, and whoever does better, you kind of feed? I don't know what you do. When have we ever seen this? I can't think of a time.
Did Dominic Rhodes in a dive?
I guess, but that was like, not the lesser of 2 evils because they both did reasonably
they had
well.
Value. Yeah.
But these guys, man, running for 165 yesterday, and you got a guy who can take it to the house anytime he touches it. That's a bounty of riches.
Isn't it amazing?
Awesome.
I always said this in basketball, but it's amazing how one player can increase your depth.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yep.
So, and here's the other thing about Moss.
Yep.
Moss took it, 60 yards or whatever it was?
Yeah, 56.
Moss is strong running it inside, too, and he's quick. I'll give Ballard credit again. He got Moss here for, a 6th or whatever round draft choice.
Hines.
Oh, yeah, Hines. Yeah. Who would you rather have?
Well, now, because
they're using him in a way maybe they shouldn't use
the
Hines.
jet ski issue.
Yeah. I guess I meant in terms of how they played with the Colts.
Oh, I'd still rather have Moss.
Me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Moss, you look at Moss and he's quick through the hole.
Yeah.
He doesn't go down on the first hit. And he showed yesterday that he could break it.
And he reminds me of something a former defensive tackle in the NFL told me about Maurice Jones-Drew. I was like, what's good about him? He said, you know what's good about him? Is that running through the hole, he's not going to go through clean. He's going to clip a guy in the kidney on purpose. He's going to hit a guy in the kidney. And he does that 3 times to that guy is going to hold on to his block. He's not going after the ball carrier anymore.
Really?
He's going to steer the guy away because he's tired of getting hit in the kidney.
Really?
And he said that's the secret to Maurice Jones-Drew. Moss seems to be a guy who catches people a little bit and makes himself unpleasant to play against, which I really like.
That's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Let me throw something out to you. Do you remember the show on ESPN that got banned by the NFL? It was only on a few times, and it portrayed the NFL horribly. It was like Baller. It wasn't Ball. It was something. Remember this?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm watching it one time, and I never understood this.
Yeah.
This is what I see with Moss. Older running back, or maybe it was on Ballers, the one with the rock. I don't know. But they're showing a running back who is older, and he's like, you can't cut me. I still got it. He goes, nope, you've lost 0.2 of a second on your 40 time.
Yeah.
So they say, he's like, no, so what? I still have savvy. So they showed a video of him going through the hole and getting tackled. Then they showed a video of what would happen if he was 0.1 quicker.
Yeah.
He's through the hole.
Yeah.
So I've always watched that with running backs. I've always watched that. Ohio State won national championship against Miami because Willis McGahee got hurt and Walter Payton's son came into the game. And he was markedly slower.
Yeah.
And they had no running game because he could not get through the hole. I'm watching Moss. Taylor has it.
Right.
Taylor has it. But I'm watching Moss and I'm like, hold on here. He's through.
Yeah.
The guys are like catching his backside when he has a little bit of a crease. That tells me he's got major league, big time NFL quickness, and that's so freaking important the way I view it. But I don't know shit. But I'm just saying that's so important to me. That is.
And that's what was a Dye's downfall. Dye just got a little bit slower.
Just a split second.
And I know we always go back to the Bears of yore.
Yeah.
Neil Anderson. Toward the end, they kept feeding him on those pitches, and you'd see the hole, and the hole would close.
Yes.
And then Anderson can't get to it. And you knew it was over for him. I didn't know why they kept, Ditka kept calling that play. Why are you running a sweep to Anderson when he can't get to the hole anymore? And he said, I just need I need just a little bit more of a, well, there is no more of a window. It just is what it is.
No,
So,
but I think both of those guys,
Yeah.
you mentioned it, we've talked about, I did not have Zack Moss in my ledger of explosive players for the Colts coming in until the last 2 out of 3 weeks.
yep.
It's a pretty good position now.
Yeah.
Should we go Roland Harper and Walter Payton, or Matt Suey and Walter Payton? Should we have 2 of them out there at the same time?
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be unbelievable.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I'd like
That'd
to
make it real easy to put 8 in the box, though.
Well, not if you split out and put one of them learns how to play in the slot.
That's true.
I'd put Jonathan Taylor on the field just to figure it out. Put him wide. Do something.
They did the opposite yesterday. They would split out Moss, or I think it was just Moss, and then they brought him back to the backfield.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
They're doing something fun. But they didn't.
This is sexy. Wait, it's not. All right, let's go. Your cornerbacks.
Oh, I like that. I like Brent's yesterday.
I did too.
And the only thing that I noticed about Jones was how Stewart was coming in for him in certain situations. Like all of a sudden I saw 40 leave. But I didn't watch Jones a lot, and that's good in that I didn't notice him. I knew that, like, zoning DeAndre Hopkins like that is a mistake because he's going to find the place where he can go get the football. So I don't understand. What am I talking about? Look, they held Derrick Henry 13 carries, like 43 yards or whatever.
Your game.
Look, that defense played its balls off. And here I am whining about you're playing this soft-ass zone and DeAndre Hopkins got a few catches. I mean, what the hell is the matter with
Nah, what are you doing? I was going to backhand you, but my hands are tied. And my shoulder, my AC joint's killing me.
I know they won by 7, but God bless you, you can't zone them, blah, blah, blah. Jeez.
I thought, you know what? I thought they did a hell of a job up front, and I thought the linebackers, there was no tight end.
No.
What did tight end do for them?
Yeah.
You know, your tight ends will kill you in the NFL.
Yep.
There wasn't really a tight end. I will bet you this, though. I'll bet you dollars to donuts. Next time, it's December 3rd, when the Colts go there, you're going to see Derrick Henry double the amount of carries.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he's hurt. You're going to see him carry and carry and carry, and you're going to have to stop him as opposed to, hope that DeAndre Hopkins could beat you. We didn't see the kid from Indiana got targeted in the end zone.
Yeah, Westbrook.
Yeah. But he was great last year, was it, or year before up there? I was at the game, and he was kind of the dominant guy. I mean, he was a non-factor.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at it, Henry, a non-factor. Tannehill was pretty good. Hopkins was really good. I don't know. Who else was any good?
And we talk about it. You talk about the Belichick thing where you take away the number 2 guy with your best corner, and the one you kind of double, and it's to take away the one. But I think they were kind of like, you know what? We don't think that Hopkins can beat us, so let's not worry about him. Henry can beat us, and Westbrook gets in the end zone. So let's take those 2 away and just figure it out. It all worked out well yesterday. They get the win, so second guessing is not something that we're really all together that willing to do. But it worked out. So, okay, that's fine.
Do you think Jimmy Irsay, this was brought to my attention today by the guys in Nashville, Jonathan Taylor. Do you think Jimmy Irsay has a particular hard-on for Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
I know,
oh,
right?
Sure.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
We don't like being the little brother.
I know.
We like being the big brother.
I know.
So you beat their ass. I think that's the team, really in Irsay's mind, that you measure yourself against in the AFC South. They, even after winning the division, Jacksonville, come on.
Right.
And Houston, come on.
Right.
We're going to beat the hell out of them more often than not, even though recent history argues. But Tennessee, they're the measurement of toughness under Vrabel, and I think that's important for Irsay.
I would argue that they are the measurement of toughness, and I would argue that the Colts out-toughed Tennessee yesterday.
I do too.
When you run the ball for that many yards with
Yep.
Jeffrey Simmons in the middle on that side, and you can't run the ball with Derrick Henry, with Grover Stewart and Buckner in the middle, you've out-toughed the other team.
That was grown man football yesterday
It
for
was.
the Colts. That was and that's why they're 3-2. We get hung up on the quarterback playing all of that, and it's really, really important. But the other stuff is really, really good right now for the Colts. And Ballard, maybe his philosophy of inside out is being validated a little bit.
I'll give him. I mean, look, when you win, I'm all in on you.
Yeah.
And you know what?
They lose the next 5, we're going to have a different
Well, then
conversation.
if they lose the next 1, I'll be ripping ass and I'll be wearing a QC Kinetics shirt. You know what I mean? I'm not messing around here. And by the way, will you people stop asking me if I actually use QC Kinetics? I swear to God I do. And it has saved my knee. This knee is a train wreck. But I went to QC Kinetics. I'll get all the time. Well, you don't really use them. They're paying you. No. I use them, and they've saved my knee. And the commercial. But I meant to say that because I'm like, geez. Well, guy stopped me the other day. Where was I? Coming out of church. He goes, hey, do you really use that? I was in church. So I'm like, dude, I say it every commercial. I wouldn't advertise it if I didn't use it. I couldn't do these things a year ago, play pickleball, then go play golf, and wake up the next day and walk. Yes.
We don't lie about these things.
I don't.
I won't endorse anything that we don't use.
Right.
Ever.
We talk about Dr. Mike O'Neill not because Julie Sterling works there, but because we both go there. And I go there because Julie Sterling worked there to start with, because I needed a dentist, and she said, do this. But Mike O'Neill's the best dentist that there is.
Yep.
And that's simple. So we promise you that much. And when the Colts win, we'll wear Colts gear. When they lose, we'll wear something else.
And either you trust us or you don't.
Right.
And if you don't trust us, don't watch.
Yeah.
All right. One thing.
Oh, yeah.
Got to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. I won another
Yeah.
auction at pristineauction.com, which I do use and I have endorsed in the past. So subscribe here and subscribe to my channel, Kent Sterling. Send me a DM on X, on Facebook, or on IG, and you are entered to win whatever the hell comes in the box.
Yeah,
whatever autograph.
Don't make us stop this show, because we've been at 4,390. We got to at least get to 4,400 by the end of the show. That's
Let's
only
go.
10 people. We got 300 people watching, for Christ's sake.
Make sure and like this
Yeah.
too. It's Hoosier Hospitality. It's a polite thing to do.
I got to give away something. All right, I got something to talk to you about in the NFL that I never thought I'd be talking about, and I think you Indianapolis fans are going to like this conversation. I said this last week on my show. It's over for Bill Belichick in New England.
Yeah.
It is over, Kent. I think it's 72-3. They've been outscored in their last 2 games.
They did not show up yesterday.
Kent, they lost 34-0 at home. They're 0-3 at home to a team, ladies and gentlemen, that is coached by a guy who's like 1,000 games under 500 in the Saints. Name the Saints quarterback.
Teddy's gone. The
Carr's hurt, I think.
Carr is hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't either.
Does that do any of you know?
Any of you guys know? I honestly don't know.
Is it Andy Dalton?
I thought he replaced somebody. I'm going to look that up. But I'm sitting there, and he said Carr played. He had to have played. But I'm watching Belichick's team last week, and we talked about, there's nothing there.
No.
Kent, there's nothing there. And that's how fast it can go in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, without Brady, they're miserable. So I look at the Colts now, and all of a sudden I'm saying to myself, wait a second. You got 2 running backs. That's 2 more. If I named the wide receivers on the New England Patriots, you wouldn't know one of them.
No.
Juju Smith-Schuster's like their 8th wide receiver.
And you know this, coaches are like running backs. If you lose a little, it's gone.
Oh.
And Bill Belichick appears to have either started to believe that all he has to do is show up and win, or he's lost a little bit of his edge and he's no longer the coach that he was.
Or others have caught up to him.
Yeah.
In terms of how to go about the business.
And that happened. It
Sure.
happened to Landry. It happened to Shula.
Absolutely.
It happened to Noel. It happened to all these guys.
Oh, and the other thing is this. He's the GM, and somebody made a great point. Belichick, the GM, based on their talent, has failed Belichick, the coach.
Yeah.
Because they don't have guys. I'm telling you, I'm going to look this up for you, and I'm going to throw these names out to you, and you tell me where they went to college.
I think Belichick is letting himself down on both levels.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm going to go wide receiver. Where'd Kendrick Bourne go to college?
Towson.
Is that right? No. Jesus. When you say so, all you got to do is say something to me like you mean it, and I'll go, yeah. East Washington, asshole. Demario Douglas. Can't wait to hear this one.
I think he went to Eastern Kentucky.
No, he did not. He went to Liberty. I'm not falling for your shit anymore. So they got a wide receiver from Eastern Washington, a wide receiver from Liberty. This one I might have known, but Devontae Parker.
Oh.
Sounds familiar.
Texas Tech.
Louisville. That guy, Curtis Manlow, got that one.
That's why it sounds familiar.
It sounds
He went to
familiar.
Louisville.
And then they got Zeke Elliott's fat ass. Their running back, Ramondre Stevenson. Where did he go to college?
Ohio University.
No, he did
He
not.
was a broadcasting major.
It does start with an O. He went to Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma.
Did he?
He did.
Oh, I should have known that.
No, you shouldn't. No, because I don't even think he played there. Belichick signed him as an undrafted free agent and is smarter than everybody. Curtis Manlow is like the smartest guy ever. But my point is they got no guys.
Yeah, right.
You got to have guys. You know what does Venturi say? Players, not plays late.
Yeah.
And when I
always.
watched them, I thought they stunk. All right, I'm going to go another direction. Sean Payton said that Nathaniel Hackett did the worst coaching job in the history of the NFL, one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL, and we're doing everything the opposite. Sean Payton's team gave up 31 at home yesterday to who? Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
How happy are you on that flight home as Nathaniel Hackett?
He was hugging everybody like they won a Super Bowl. It was like Jim Valvano after winning the '83 national championship. It was hugs all around. And I wanted to give him a hug.
I did too.
Because Sean Payton is an arrogant ass. And what he said is just unbelievable. And I know there's a brotherhood among coaches, kind of. But that's not the reason it's bad.
Right.
It's just wrong and it's bad. And shut the hell up and stop listening to yourself when you were only able to win in New Orleans because you had Drew Brees.
And Hank Baskett couldn't catch an onside kick because he was
That's
too busy hanging
How
with whatever
much
the hell.
money
Yeah.
Hank Baskett made Sean Payton.
Oh, God. Hank Baskett made Sean Payton have this. Super Bowl champion winning coach.
Yeah,
And
right.
that spends.
Yep.
That's a big time deal. Super Bowl winning coach because Hank Baskett, who is now alleged to be doing some very weird things, hey, not that there's anything wrong with that, but some weird stuff, couldn't catch a ground ball as a wide receiver. I mean, seriously. So I'm watching Hackett and I'm watching the Jets, and next thing you know, it's 31-21, and this was at home.
Yeah.
So my question becomes,
Wearing their fancy white helmets.
oh,
all
they
that
were
crap.
something, yes. How many dog games do you get at home during a season? Colts just broke a 7-game home losing streak. Now think about that. That is almost half of us. That's almost your entire home schedule losing. Because you either get 8 or 7, right?
Right. 8 or 9.
8 or 9, yeah. So think about that.
Yeah.
How many dog games do you think you get at home, particularly when you're a big mouth guy that says stupid shit?
You know what? Here's what I'll give Sean Payton. That it made that game fun.
Yes.
I made it a point to watch the end of that game.
Yes.
That's why I begrudgingly have some love for Jim Harbaugh. Because I hate Michigan. And it makes it fun every week to watch Michigan because I'm rooting against them.
Well, it ain't working out so good. That may be the best team
Not
in
this
college
week.
football.
They've outscored their opponents like 242 to 40. I added it up this morning. And that ratio, I don't think is going to get any worse for Michigan this week.
Ken, here's the deal. They turned it around so fast. A couple years ago, they were stuck in the mud at Michigan.
Yep.
Harbaugh had to give money back. Now think about the turnaround at Michigan. Indiana beat Michigan that year, one of those years.
Yeah.
And think about the turnaround at Michigan and the turnaround here with our beloved Hoosiers, who, by the way, had a great weekend.
Yeah.
Hell, they got a new coach in there, Justin Fuentes or Justice or whatever his name is. And hey, they didn't lose.
It's a new day.
But Michigan, to me, is, I watched them the other day.
They're really good.
And Row Your Boat guy, he had nothing for him. And he said, you know what, 11 years in coaching, head coach, and that's the best football team. And what I'm even more remarkable about it was how quick it turned around. And I go back to this. You know, let's take the Colts. There's always a team or teams that make an incredible run in the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs the year before. In fact, there are some that go to the Super Bowl. And I'm looking at the Colts, and I don't think they're that because I don't think you can do that with Minshew. But I am thinking about the Colts going, hold on a second. Hang on now. You got a chance again to go to Jacksonville, and you win that game. Now you've avenged the loss that they had earlier to Jacksonville. They lost to Jacksonville opening,
Yes.
right? And you've gotten rid of all the crap of Jacksonville. You may take off.
And then you've got Cleveland and the Saints here. And I know the Saints looked like world beaters yesterday, but we know they're not. And the Colts have done, they know how, it seems, know how to stop Derek Carr.
And there's nothing with Deshaun Watson that makes you crazy if you're the Colts. They played it. They've seen him fumble on the, I don't know.
Every game, every win makes the next game just a little bit more important. And that's the wonder of the NFL. It's just fantastic. You can't stop watching.
Coach Knight used to say, we got to get in position to get in position.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Well, if we win this game, then we're in position to win the league. Or if we win these next two, now we go to Purdue and we got a chance to move into first place or whatever it is. And it totally makes sense to me because that's where the Colts are at. Look, the Houston thing, they got one game up on them. The Titans thing, they got one game up on them. They go back December 3rd. Yep. And okay, that's going to be a different game, different place. We'll see who's getting better. And that's the key here, I think, in this division. I think the Jaguars got way better from 2 weeks ago when I thought they were crapola. I watched most of that game yesterday. I thought they were pretty good. And the Bills and this guy, Ed Oliver, who was an idiot in college. He's a defensive player that's supposed to be really good. He did what E.J. Speed did, committed a stupid-ass penalty in the red zone, which led to a touchdown, and now you lose by 5.
Yeah.
You just stupid loses more than smart wins.
Maybe them being in London the last 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of pays some dividends.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always think, travel is so important. It seems I'm surprised that it's not more often than I'm validated that it is. But, we'll see what happens.
Anyway, but I think that Trevor Lawrence has gotten pretty good. I do. I think he's throwing the football well. But let me go this route with you. We all say, well, Minshew can't do this or can't do that. He seems like a guy that thrives on being counted out. And I don't even know what that means. Does that mean anything? Is that anything?
Well, it's worked for him. I don't know that he would be any worse a quarterback or any better if he hadn't played at like 16 different colleges and been with 3 different programs in the NFL.
Yeah.
Either he believes in himself and thinks that the grass is always greener on the other side, or people sour on the experience of having him around, but I don't think that could be. He's a really nice guy. He's a really smart guy. Coaches seem to love him here. I mean, Steichen didn't bring him here because he hates him.
Right.
Worked with him in Philadelphia. So, maybe it's just been, can he get to the right place at the right time? But he can't throw it. He can't throw it far and he can't throw it fast, and that's important.
That's important because they got a guy, they got a Josh Allen on the Jaguars that's pretty damn good, the defensive player.
Yeah, right.
And you're going to have to get rid of that football. You're going to have to block the living hell out of Josh Allen, but I guess we'll talk about that. Let me go position-wise.
He's a scrappy fella, and scrappy doesn't win very often in the NFL. And like Josh Allen types win.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes wins. Yes. Scrappy Doo never got over on Scooby-Doo. So, what do you do with Scrappy Doo?
Then it leads me to this. Like, why is Brock Purdy so good? Like, why is it?
That's because of Shanahan. Shanahan's
really?
Scheme. Yeah.
I was reading something by an NFL guy, a former player. Who the hell was it this morning? Going, don't buy into it's all plug and play, or else Trey Lance would have been really good with the 49ers. It ain't not.
Garoppolo was. Garoppolo's record was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never bought into the record thing with quarterbacks. I buy into the fact that this guy hasn't thrown an interception in the NFL.
Yeah.
He hasn't thrown an interception. He's completing over 70% of his passes. Hasn't thrown an interception. Yeah, they've won every game. Or maybe they've won every game because he doesn't throw any interceptions. He doesn't turn the thing over. But I watch people, and I don't know he's got a great arm, but the converse to that is Mac Jones. I'm watching Mac Jones yesterday, and Kent, that dude, god damn. Like, he can't throw it from me to that freaking pool. I don't think he can get at the pool from here, that guy.
I feel bad for him.
Do you?
I don't know him. I don't know him well enough to have built up any kind of dislike.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because I root against him because I don't like Belichick.
Right.
So, I'm conferring all this dislike onto a guy who might be a really, really nice guy.
Do you feel bad for him? Do you feel at all bad for him? It's like Mike Davis following Bob Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Bartow following Wood. Following Brady, I know they had some other guys in there, but let's be honest, this is the first, we drafted you to be this guy. They brought in Cam Newton to be a guy, and we'll see what happens, right?
Maybe this is payback from Belichick because we know he keeps his receipts. And the trade, right? The trade that sent Garoppolo out was engineered by Kraft over Belichick's objection. So maybe this is Belichick saying, okay, you didn't like Garoppolo? We got Mac Jones. How you like this crap? What do you think about this, Kraft, you crazy bastard? Go back to the masseuse down in Florida and get your handy.
Well, he got a tugger, and you can't blame a guy for that at his age. I mean, man, the old lady wasn't doing it, so he just stopped in. A little relaxation before. That's the dumbest thing we've said on this show. I'm going to purposely get a guy that's just good enough to get my ass beat.
That's how smart he is.
Oh, he's breaking that. Is it going to be this? They cut Payton in Indy. They fired Bob Knight in Indiana. They fired Belichick in New England. Will he get fired?
Oh, yeah.
I think he will.
Or they'll negotiate and walk away. One way or another, he's done. He doesn't have the energy. He's 70 plus, right?
I think.
He doesn't have the energy to, preside over a rebuild. That's crazy.
That's what he's got.
That's going to take 3 years. Go enjoy your life. My God almighty. Do something else.
Oh, I'm so with you on that. Oh, God. I remember us having that conversation with Urban twice. Once was after the Jacksonville thing. I'm down and I'm drinking a little tequila. And you're a fucking idiot.
You get smart when you drink tequila.
I know. I get handsome, too. I know. You turn those lights off? We were just sipping a little tequila sitting there, and he's like, what do you think? I go, what do you mean, what do I think? I think you got a break. Now go get your $25 million. You don't want to be around that crap.
Yeah.
I mean, live your life. Look what you got here. Go, figure it out.
Why? Why did they come back?
Because you cannot get anywhere else the feeling of winning. You just can't. I mean, there's no, and I battled that. You can't get the feeling of winning. You just can never, and I'll say this for Urban. Urban liked players. He likes players. I got tired of players. I didn't like players. I didn't like any of them. You guys are dumbasses, and I don't like it. But he likes, the feeling of winning. We talked about that a lot. I remember we talked about it over the phone at different times, hey, look, you can never get that. And at our age, that's why I always say, this is why I don't have no problem gambling on the golf course as long as it is fair, because where else do you compete?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
that's all we got. Bowling and golf.
I hate to say it,
yeah,
but where else? People say to me, well, man, you guys, I don't bet thousands of dollars. I bet $10 3 ways, press, win, pissed. But, it can get to be a little bit. You can lose $100 maybe, but at least there's no other way you compete. And when you grew up, and most guys have grown up competing.
Yeah.
Whether in business you compete, and, making a deal has got to feel great. But I don't have that. And I don't know, this show, trying to get this show to 5,000 people is competing. It is. We got 300 watching, so go ahead and like us and go ahead and subscribe. What are you people doing? But that's the reason they come back. That's
where else can you be criticized and applauded simultaneously?
Yes. We love you.
It's a 1 in a million show.
Jesus Christ, we love you, but hey, a little something back. We're action here a little bit. How about you throw a little something nice to us? But no, so that's why. And it's like Congress. Why do congressmen stay? Because they get to be treated like kings and insider trade, and your worth goes to bazillions, and coaches get to be, let me tell you something, being a head coach,
yeah,
it's a pretty good life. Urban, I mean, I'm using him too much, but he told me, he goes, look, I don't want to coach anymore, but boy, I like being treated like the head coach at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Private planes. Hey, go do this. Well, yeah, coach, yeah. And that's not the real world.
No. Here's the difference between a coach and Congress. As a coach, you're in a fraternity of one. You are the coach, right? There, you're in a club.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a club of 435, and you got your little pin, and you've got all the those people, the belongers in life. I've got to belong to something.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know that I'm a
Yeah.
member of the Kiwanis?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the Kiwanis.
No,
we love the Kiwanis.
Kiwanis. Good Kiwanis.
But I just
No.
I don't want to belong to anything.
I agree with that. I agree. I'm not mad at belong. My ass is ringing. I'm on fire. I can literally go 3 days and not get a phone call.
Really?
And I got 2 just now. I'm with you on that. Like but anyway, that's why coaches stay. That's why like Saban's 71. Because look, I always said this about Bob Knight, and people would get mad at me. Bob Knight, at the end of his regime, he did not want to coach. He had no interest in it. He just liked being Bob Knight.
Yeah.
And he knew if he was not coaching, he did not get to be Bob Knight. And I told him that one time. It didn't go great.
No.
It didn't go great.
He didn't like the mirror you held up to him.
I said, Coach, you got to stop wanting to be Bob Knight and go out there and let's recruit and let's win. I mean, other else, you're just Bob Knight, what you used to do. And
now then he did go to Texas Tech and he coached his ass off.
He actually started recruiting when Patrick came in because he was trying to get Patrick the job there. So they went and got Newton, they went and got Leach, they went and got Jeffries. And Fife was always going to be there. Hornsby was going to be there. And then, when he went to Texas Tech, he did for a while. They made a run to the Sweet 16. He won with one really good player. Andre Emmett was good, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And, he did. And then he didn't.
Yeah.
And then he, did what he was.
He proved it to himself again.
Right.
And he shoved it up Indiana's ass, and it was all over.
And then he went out and Patrick got the job, and,
Never underestimate the power of shoving it up someone's ass. Nathaniel Hackett yesterday, that was fun for him. You get an opportunity to show people that they made a mistake. That is a nice motivator.
Well, I think that's the Gardner Minshew story.
Yeah,
I think
might see that this week.
I think that's what he is about. I think that's what he's about for whatever the reason in his entire career. And, he's going to be the quarterback here. There is no quarterback controversy because he's the quarterback. And so probably for one of the few times, correct me if I'm wrong, but has Minshew ever been given, you're the quarterback of this team, you are the guy? Has he ever been given that?
No.
I don't think so either. Somebody tried to tell me he was at one point in Jacksonville the year before or 2 years before Lawrence.
He might have won the starting job, but it was quick.
Between Bortles and before Lawrence,
I
don't know. I don't know the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars very well. But the truth of the matter is, you think about an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you got a team on the rise. He's not taking over crap right now.
Right.
So
he's got Moss and he's got Taylor. He's got people. If he's ever going to succeed, and he's got a really good head coach.
I think
and he's got a really good offensive coordinator.
Both should be fired because they ran Richardson to the right, and I'm calling for everybody to be fired. Not really. People on Twitter took that literal, which is fine. But you don't run the play with him.
That was ridiculous.
Let the running backs run and the quarterbacks throw and until they have to scramble, and then you got to scramble.
Right.
And get the tight end involved so they don't have to scramble. It's not that hard, people. We got this solved.
It's just that simple. That's why you come here and why you should subscribe immediately. We solve problems, by God.
What else are we going to talk about?
We can talk, we did a little bit, but Indiana going up to Ann Arbor, this is not good. We're going to be hopeful. Can we indulge in a little bit of hope at noon on Saturday on Fox?
No. There's nothing to hope for. What you're hoping to not get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
Because I don't see a scenario where Indiana is in the fourth quarter and we got a game.
Spread's 34. Can Indiana cover the 34? The weather's a little bit dicey. The forecast, 65% chance of rain.
Gun to head, no. If you put gun to my head, I'm taking and I'm giving a 34. But let me go to Notre Dame real quick. So here's what I'm watching with Notre Dame Louisville.
Yeah.
All right. And to the point of Indiana. The guys said on the broadcast, whoever was doing the broadcast was like, look, they've talked about Louisville as a staff wanting to keep this. They're slowing the game down. They want to get it into the fourth quarter where they got a shot. Well, what ended up happening was Notre Dame completely, totally shit the bed when it got tough.
Yeah.
Notre Dame went away.
Right.
That is never going to happen.
Louisville was the better team.
Oh, Louisville was the better team, the tougher team, the
Yep.
better coach team, the more organized team. And I'm going to tell Notre Dame fans this because I said it at the time. Don't give me this shit about we hired a player's coach. That's where a player's coach, coached team wilts. I'm saying that wrong. That's where a guy that was hired because he's the favorite of the players wilts. A player coach team steps up. But a guy hired because, oh, we want Marcus and he's our guy, kiss my ass. You wilt. You don't see guys like Myers' teams, Saban's team. You don't see Kirby Smart's teams. Maybe Harbaugh's we'll see this year because they wilted last year. But you don't see tough guy coaches that have established themselves. Tough coaches, teams don't wilt like Notre Dame will. That game went from Notre Dame got the ball back to start the second half on a fumble, tie game, or maybe they're down 3, whatever it was, to a freaking blowout. To the point where that tight end, and I'll give the tight end credit, they got a stud tight end. He catches a touchdown pass. A minute to go, they're down 20. None of this bullshit of, he looked embarrassed. Yeah, he looked embarrassed like guys are running over and he's like, hold on.
Yeah, right.
We're getting our ass. So I'll give Notre Dame, but I'm telling you, that is a player's coach late in a game against a guy that is not a player's coach, that knows how to coach, and Braum was a mother in that game.
He is truly not a player's coach.
No, he's a mother.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Uber nice guy to talk to.
Yeah.
But he's a mother.
Yeah.
And no, I'm telling you, I watched that and I'm like, because I needed that bet to complete a hell of a day in a parlay. And I'm sitting there going, ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And that fan base is turning on Marcus Freeman just about as fast as you would guess they would.
And don't
you lose one game, it's over.
Don't tell me that's race. That's just Notre Dame. I tell this story. Kent, I think I told this on the air. They had won a national championship in '89. And I asked Lou Holtz about this. It was like 90 or 91. My first wife and I are at the game. They tie Notre Dame, or they tie Michigan. He explained it to me, Holtz. He said, yeah, we tried to pass. It was there. A guy dropped it. He goes, I wasn't trying to tie. We're walking around campus. They had just won a national championship. Fire Holtz. I mean, people are insane with the Fire Holtz kit.
St. Joe County's a weird place.
Oh, man. And look, they got great pride. I wish Indiana basketball had that same kind of pride. We don't have that pride anymore. Woody came in 9th. Woody came in 3rd. We're going to be great. Oh, shut up.
So you would like Indiana fans to become less tolerant of mediocrity?
Yes. That's been my thing. When Indiana fans, well, we hate you, Doc. You hate me because I'm the one saying, look, you're supposed to win here. Players sacrifice. Players are supposed to sacrifice at Indiana to win. Look, I wish I'd have scored more because people, well, you only averaged 3.5 points. Yeah, you're right, because you're supposed to come there and sacrifice, not bitch when I wasn't going to be a pro, I knew that, but you're supposed to sacrifice.
Right.
Fuck, because you're supposed to win. But I hear all this bullshit from everybody about Indiana. And then I watch Ohio State football. They beat Maryland. They cover the spread, and people are bitching because they didn't blow them out in the beginning. I see Notre Dame football. People are bitching, Kent, because they're out of the college football playoff, and it's only October 10th or whatever it is. And Indiana basketball, oh, man, Woody's got us 3rd in the Big Ten. Give him $1 million. And I'm the bad guy. All right, I'm the bad guy. Same thing with the Colts. Like, Colts standard was high. Winning his team in the decades and all that shit.
Yeah.
And now they beat Minnesota. Doyle. Blueprint to the Super Bowl. We got the greatest GM. We got the greatest this. We got, fuck off. We don't have nothing until we win. And then we do.
Right.
And then we do.
And then you better do it again.
It's the standard.
Right.
I mean, this is Northwestern. Seriously. I don't know what the standard is with Indiana football. Get to the Kool-Aid Weed Eater Bowl.
Beat the line at Knicks. The standard is in the parking lot. The standard is in the bus.
But it's fascinating to me. Notre Dame people are intolerant of anything but massive. Ohio State. Herb Street was bitching about it, and I remember I tweeted out, God, Herbie, I wish Indiana basketball fans had the same kind of standard. We just don't. Michigan fans wanted to get rid of Harbaugh. And he was winning 8 or 9 games, and they're right. Because you're supposed to win more. Indiana's supposed to win that freaking league. Not lose to Rutgers.
Be careful what you wish for with firing coaches.
Oh, Bob, I mean, I said at the time with Knight, probably right. But anyway, I don't have any problem with Notre Dame fans. All right, let me ask you. As you get older,
yeah,
you get more tolerant of some things, but you get less tolerant of bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get really intolerant of young people who have no idea how to live a life telling me how to live a life. Yeah. I don't deal well with that. Most people, I'm really like, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. You hear people, and it's not directly to me, but I'll hear them talking, and they're expressing the importance of certain things in life, and they don't mean anything. And you see the kids, who mimic what they see in the NFL or in college football with to opposing fans. Stop that. Success should be enough. You don't have to rub it in somebody's ass. You don't have to shove it to them. Just shh. Don't shh. They should shh. People who do shh should shh. Yeah.
That's one of my problems with Indiana basketball. They got all the bullshit covered. Yeah,
I don't need this, and that bothers me even with Shaq Leonard. You know what? Just play the damn game. Come on, like they owe you a level of volume, and you stop it. Focus on this and go do your job. Right. It drives me crazy.
Right.
I really like Shaq Leonard is a really, really nice guy, but there's shit going on up here for him that I wish would get out of there, and I hope that it does eventually. Because I think it just, like he talks about his struggle with depression and whatnot, okay, it ain't out there, it isn't us, what we're saying about him that's causing him pain, it's what's in here. So get this work, go take care of it.
Ken, this was not meant with any angst at all, but I think that mental health, like Jimmy Ear's saying, it's a great program because I've been very clear about that. I had real depression when I would lose. And I mean, I would slip on the floor and I'd take Lexapro. But there is no stigma with depression. There is no stigma anymore. People are saying, get the stigma. There is no stigma. I mean, people use every single kid you see that transfers now in college sports transfers because of what? My mental health issues. Look, if you have it, get help with it. Serious. And nobody says a word about it. Nobody says, and the only time they do with me, well, you're off your meds today or something like that. Okay, that's just somebody trying to criticize. But there's no, get help with it. Just simply get help with it. There's no stigma to it. There are ways to get help. I did not know about those ways. Dr. Rink showed me those ways, and I'm glad he did. Now, do we all battle stuff? Just because somebody tells you no, or just because you have a setback, doesn't mean you got to fall back into it. At some point you got to deal, but there is ways to get freaking help.
Life is really hard.
It is.
It's hard. And we need to cut ourselves a little bit of slack, understand it's hard, and make it a little bit easier for ourselves. We got to take a deep breath, forgive your mistakes, understand their life lessons, and you move forward by committing these errors.
Yeah.
And some you never really get over. Some you make a mistake and it nests in your head forever. That's life, and that's why life's hard.
I always say this is a baby. Doctor smacks your ass. What do? You cry. Doctor then doesn't say, well, your life's going to be easy.
No. He's
getting you used to crying. So, you know what? If you have mental health issues, there's no stigma about it. Just go get help. As simple as that. And if anybody says anything about it, that's on them, not you. But I will say this is very odd. And let's talk about Leonard. This is very odd. I had 3 business guys in the state of Indiana that are uber successful. One NFL guy that has been uber successful tell me when Shaq Leonard changed his name, that dude is worrying about ancillary bullshit. He'll never be as good. And that's Bob Knight shit right there. I'm just telling you. That's like Bob Knight shit. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. The world is different. I was actually not on board with it. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that 3 people, uber successful people, said that to me. And I'm like, huh.
What if Leonard goes to an analyst or a psychotherapist, and he's really bothered? Okay, what bothers you? Well, people call me Darius instead of Shaq. And I'd like them to stop that. Well, tell them. Tell them to stop that. So this is what he does. He tells them to stop it. And then people do it either more or they do it to mock him, and that becomes problematic too. But you know what I mean?
Well,
like this may just I don't know why it bothers him. You can call me whatever you want. I don't like being called Sterling.
I don't like being called Dawkins. We saw it the other day. I guess that my thing is, I call him Darius once in a while because that's first impressions are the most lasting.
Right.
I don't give a damn.
And it fits.
I would call him Fred if that's what he wanted to be called, if I could remember it. Like, I can't remember to call him Shaq. I was just going to call him Darius again. But anyway, you know, and here's the deal with that.
And I get it. If you worry about the wrong stuff, you're not going to take care of the right stuff.
I felt like watching Hard Knocks, he was full of shit. Not about his name or his depression. I'm just talking about to his teammates. Like, two guys that I said at the time they were tired of is Shaq Leonard and Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
I think they were both full of shit. I think that Shaq Leonard and his whole thing was great early. Like, you come in as a rookie and you do it, and then people get tired of it. And if you're not living up to it all the time, and maybe he is, maybe he isn't, I don't know. I just thought they got
if you're generating 12 turnovers, people say, oh, hey, what a guy. But if all of a sudden you can't play anymore, people start poking under the hood and trying to figure out what's going on.
And coaches do this. Coaches always look at everything. They look at the film, your eating habits, your psychology. What are you concerned about? What are you listening to? What are you doing? Are you in the film room or are you playing video games? Are you in early or are you, coaches, I did. I learned that from Coach Knight. Like, wow. And you know, I didn't have to worry about it in high school because you're better than everybody.
Right.
Maybe even college for Shaq Leonard at South Carolina State. You know, even Jonathan Taylor at Wisconsin, pretty much better than anybody. But once you get here to this level, the little things make a difference. And it's no mystery why the completely obsessed people, the Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, combined with talent, real talent, they're the most successful. You know, I don't like Ray Lewis. I think Ray Lewis is a murderer. I think Ray Lewis is a liar. I think he's a murderer. But by all accounts, the damn guy was pretty much obsessed with being the best middle linebacker ever. So was Mike Singletary.
He shares this with Jordan. He was obsessed with his teammates doing their jobs in the right way and lifting them so that they can win a championship.
And there's no surprise that every team you look at has those guys. And it's no surprise when those guys leave. It's why I said the Colts needed to go get Brady. Because Brady lifts an entire organization. He does. You have to sit up straight, man. I can't let this guy down. You have to. So they got Rivers, and Rivers was almost like Brady light, and that worked out. But then, you know, Matt Ryan wasn't that guy.
No,
and you know, when you don't have that guy, so I would ask.
And Wentz sure as hell wasn't that guy.
No. Jacoby Brissett was a nice guy, but didn't have the ability. Right. You gotta to lift everybody up. You gotta be the dude.
Right.
You can be the Seinfeld, the guy that everybody hangs around with, but you gotta be. And you know, it's unfortunate because it kind of looked like Leonard was going to be that guy for a while.
Yeah. Well, then physically he fell apart because he weighs 217 pounds.
Grigson told me that. He goes, "You watch what happens with Leonard." And this is way back. He said it on the air. He goes, you just watch. He goes, he's the guy that said if he's an outside linebacker, he'd be one of the greats. But he's an inside linebacker, and you cannot have that weight differential hit on every single play.
Yeah. And
you're eventually going to get hurt. And, you know, injury is the worst thing you can have in the NFL because your career then ends and they don't pay you.
All that athletic talent goes from being here to being just here. And that's enough.
That's enough. because everybody else is on scholarship.
And did you notice he wasn't there yesterday? Or he wasn't on the field. Did you know? Oh,
No.
man, if 53 was here, nothing like that.
Used to be.
Yep, absolutely. And what I also don't care much for with him is he says that negative tweets, he reads them all because they fuel him. That's not fuel. That's going to tear your shit up. That's so toxic that to think if you need that to fuel your positive behavior, then you do need to crack open the hood and do some rewiring.
That's, you know what he does? He does what so many kids do now. They hear something and they hold on to it. It's meaning. I'm all about winning, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I was looking at this Stephon Diggs, and I know you commented on Twitter. Stephon Diggs has never won nothing. I looked him up at Maryland. Didn't have a winning record in the conference that he was in at Maryland when he was there. Now, Maryland's gotten okay. Stephon Diggs has never won shit. And he's sitting there like a petulant child throwing down the clipboard. And it wasn't that he threw down the clipboard and people said, well, how do you know he's not mad at himself? Well, I'll tell you this, because it's obvious. If you coach or you manage people, you can tell the difference between mad at yourself and mad at the circumstance around you.
Right. People are rarely theatrical when it's it's inward. Right. That's
they
outward.
Go, oh,
that's showing
and then they stop.
Something.
Right. Then they go, oh man. So there is a vote. Listen to this. This is where we live in. The IOC, where are you at with this? To vote on flag football as a potential new sport for the 2028 LA Olympics.
Why isn't billiards an Olympic sport?
Great call. You know what breakdancing is?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It's an Olympic sport?
Breakdancing.
It is?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Why? People haven't breakdanced. Have you seen, like, people used to wear the guys are spinning on their heads. They're like, oh, that was interesting in 1983.
Used to go to the Crazy Horse, and they had a little dance floor. But I used to sit up top and watch people breakdance. I took my girlfriend fishnet and my boy Custer on a triple date, and then we said we're going to go watch breakdancing today. It's true.
I mean,
an Olympic sport.
Flag football.
Flag football.
Why? They should start eliminating sports. Why can't they eliminate sports?
Right. Let's whittle this down.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We want track and field.
Yes.
I'll settle for gymnastics.
Fine.
We can have some gymnastics.
Diving, swimming.
I don't need the rhythmic gymnastics.
Never.
Swimming and diving.
There's 100 different gymnastics now. Ribbon gymnastic, rhythmic gymnastics, synchronized gymnastics. We don't need any of that.
No.
No synchronized swimming.
No. Although Martin Short and Christopher Guest doing that on Saturday Night Live is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I think the funniest thing I've ever seen is Black Jeopardy with Tom Hanks. Look it up. It's the funniest shit ever. But no, I'm with you.
If you don't get, I'm good with the kayaking business because it's on a clock.
Yeah.
If you've got a scoreboard or if you've got a timer, I'm all in. If you don't have either, flag football's got that, but flag football isn't a real game. Flag football is a game for people who don't want to get hurt.
It's an intramural game.
Right.
Are we trying to make sure that football players can be Olympians now? I don't mind golf as an Olympic sport.
Well, you can do it multi-gender. You could have the co-ed flag football.
I don't mind golf or tennis as Olympic sports.
They got places to go do things.
You're right.
So win Wimbledon, for God's sake. Now you got to win this crap too.
No,
Sheesh.
I'm going to the Olympics.
When?
This summer.
Really?
I am. I made up my mind. I always wanted to go to Paris, and the Olympics are in Paris. So I'm going. And I told my wife, she goes, okay, what do you want to see? I go, I only want to see one thing. I'll go to everything, but I got to go to the 100-meter final. Yeah. I've got to go to that.
Yeah.
I've loved the 200 and the 100-meter final. I got to be, and it's 100-meter final here, 200 here, everything else. Well, don't you want to go to basketball? No, I can go to Finch Creek and watch basketball. No, I can turn the
Why do I want to watch Drew Holiday go play basketball against Yugoslavians?
Yes, my
no.
Anyway, but that's what I want to do. I want to go watch the 200 meters. I don't want to watch flag football. I don't want to watch breakdancing. I don't want to watch synchronized swimming. And I also told her, I go, you know what? I ain't mad at going to see some swimming. I'll see some swimming. I want to see, the back and forth. Not that we're going all day swimming.
Right.
But, I'm sprinting there and I'm sprinting back. You know what I mean? I'm swimming my bag off. That's what I want.
Not that we're swimming all day swimming.
I'm not all day.
800 meters
Oh, Christ.
1,500.
I mean, you know what I do? I don't, this brain ain't hanging in there for all that shit. But I'm sitting there going, hey, I want this right. Hey,
17 minutes.
Jesus Christ, can we get a cannoli somewhere? Can we go eat? Can we do something? You know what I mean?
Really good for you.
I'm going. I told Lee, I want to go. You set it up, get an Airbnb, and we'll spend money because I don't ever spend money. I mean, every piece of clothing I wear is, I don't buy nothing. So I'm
really,
yeah. Yeah. With this wardrobe, how could that be?
I bought this.
Yeah,
can you believe that? Yeah.
I think my wife bought this for me. What is that? Is that old man wear? Is that Tommy Bahama?
No. I bought
Bahama.
this
at
that place, 82nd and Allisonville, where they got all the team swag.
Yeah.
And this was the only Colts thing that wasn't all garish looking, with all the swirls and whatnot. This is just logo, blue, done. I'm in.
I like it.
That's
what
good.
I got. Yeah,
that works.
Yeah. And this is Tommy Bahama old man wear, which is, I'm like, Lee, go give me some old man wear. Tommy Bahama's my stuff.
Why isn't a love of Tommy Bahama shared by people in their 20s?
Everyone.
It's great.
Best jeans ever.
Really good jeans.
Little bit stretchy.
Yeah.
You can't get a more comfortable jean. Those Bahamas.
Are they? They're stretchy.
I don't think they are. I can't read that. I don't think. No.
The blue one?
No, I don't see Tommy Bahama.
Well,
I got a little too close to your ass.
I'd take them off, but who needs that?
No. Tommy Bahama is amazing, and I'm in my early 30s. Curtis Manlow's a god. Is that TB? Oh, I can't read that. I got no shot. Those are fancy.
Can't either.
You know the last pair of jeans I bought?
No.
Well, I was on the phone with Lee. I was trying to woo her. She was dating the fireman, and I was on the phone with her, and I'm like, hey, I need a new pair of jeans. She goes, where are you going? I'm going to Steinmart. She goes, okay. I said, I'll call you back in a little bit. I came out. They had some kind of thing going this way. They were irregulars.
Yeah.
I got them for $7. And I wore them for about 10 years till she made me throw them away.
Hey, you know what? They're all going to be irregular eventually.
Yeah.
You may as well get out in front of it and pay $7.
$7. I remember walking out going, man, Steinmart is the place. $7 for jeans that I'm comfortable in? Shit.
Julie will buy clothes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not paying, I'm not even paying $70 for a pair of jeans. I can't do it. She goes, oh, but these look good. I'm like, hey. And then I'll get them next birthday. There they are.
Lee does this. Lee saves every single coupon that comes for clothes. Like, cause she's bought enough Tommy Bahama that she'll be like, Dan, I got you these jeans. She'll bring them home. Try them on. They were normally $80. I got half off. They're $40.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, oh, they fit.
This is terrible. But like my nephews, I got 3 nephews and a brother-in-law. I buy them all Tommy Bahama stuff because if you spend to a certain level,
yes.
I think it's for every $125, you get a card for $50 off.
That's right.
So we'll spend about $500 on these idiots. I mean, with love, and basically the same thing, but different colors. Yeah. And then I get like 4 of these cards for $50 each. I get to go have some fun.
That's right. That's exactly what Lee does right there. You get to a certain amount, boom. Same thing with Dick's. Dick's, I'm not even going to tell you. But our bikes program, we get bikes from Dick's. We get the rewards. Boom.
There's nothing wrong with that, people.
No.
That's just smart. We've been talking a long time.
I thought this was going to be a short show.
I did too.
We just get going.
Because it's joyous. Because the Colts
I got to check something out.
Yeah.
I got to see where we're at. I'm going to rip some ass. Do we have anything that shows who's on the chat? We're still, all right, no. We're still at 4,390. I need
Go 10. Like this.
Where?
Go, refresh it.
It doesn't refresh down.
It doesn't refresh?
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Huh.
Whatever.
Well.
Bite me.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, do the Colts have a chance of winning games against the Jags with something? Yeah, they're going to beat the Jags.
I think they can beat
the Jags. They're done
with
the Jags. Yeah, they're done.
I don't, if you can run the football, you can do a lot of things. You can kind of dictate pace. in the game, and that's really, really important. And then defensively, you got to be able to keep Lawrence where he's at and make him uncomfortable. And they didn't do a great job of that yesterday with Tannehill, but maybe they can. And they almost beat. They should have beaten the Jags first time around. They could be 5-0.
Are we doing a show this week later on?
Why wouldn't we?
I think we do it Thursday, and when we get Thursday, we will break it down. Look, newsflash: Michigan to start second stringers. Shut up. Come on.
Hey, so's Indiana.
You just can't tell. Hey,
All right.
Otter Creek, you are the man, Otter Creek.
Good dude.
Yeah.
Met a guy who watches our show here, and Elijah. And he's a field guy at Lucas Oil.
Really?
He's wearing the gold jacket.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey. They all do. They all do that when they see it. Hey, Kent. I saw a guy who watches us who works at ICC Flooring. I went in there on Saturday. Guy goes, Kent Sterling, 2 big brains.
Oh, jeez.
I said, well,
is this show taking over?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Oh my God. All right.
And people at Wolfie's, they came up and said hello.
Guy's yelling at me across the bar. I still feel bad. Hey, dog! And he comes up. I'm like, you don't have to yell at me across the bar. Don't yell at people across the bar.
We'll see you Thursday.
Thanks for joining. Trying to find his